Hi, so in this session I'm going to be making a short crust pastry. So really simple method. This is what I call the creaming method. So creaming together first your butter and sugar. So in a bowl here I've got 100 grams of butter, I've got 70 grams of granulated sugar. You could use granulated caster as you want. I just use granulated because it's cheaper. And all I'm doing is I'm just going to cream these two ingredients together very quickly until they're all mixed and they're quite soft. What we want is this butter nice and soft, so it's easy to work and easy to mix in. What we don't want is lumps of butter in our pastry. When we're then rolling out our pastry, it will otherwise mean that we'll have holes melt through the pastry, and we'll leave gaps if we're making things like lemon tart, things like that. It will seep through. So all I've done here, I've just mixed together the butter and the sugar. I'm just going to break into there an egg. So just wash my hand, and I'm just going to spend a minute just pushing that all flat, getting all those little lumps of butter out, trying to mix it as much as I can with the egg. As soon as that's done, I'm just going to add now flour. So just work it a quick second with the spatula. What I'm going to do, just bring it together with my hands. What I don't want to do is overwork this. The more I work and play with it, now that the flour has been introduced to liquid, it's in the egg, it will want to form gluten. That's the last thing we want. We don't want a tough pastry, we want a nice crumbly pastry. So all I want to do is just mix this just enough until it comes together. Done. So it's now come together. I've got a bit of double lined cling film ready here. What I'm going to do, just take that off my fingers and just use the spatula. Onto my cling film. I'm just going to quickly now wash my hands. So now I've washed my hands, I've got my pastry onto my piece of double lined cling film. Just use the spatula to flatten it out slightly. It's all well mixed. Now what I'm going to do, just fold my cling film over. Then just fold over the edges just slightly as well. Now what I want to do is I just want to spend a minute just manipulating the pastry to push it out to those corners and make sure that there's no little cracks or anything like that in the pastry. What I want is this is the time where I make sure that there's no weaknesses in the pastry. If I let this set now with cracks in the pastry, as soon as I go to roll that out, what's going to happen is as I roll it, that crack's going to enlarge and open up, and the last thing that I want. Also, I never ever teach to roll pastry into a ball. What's going to happen is, obviously it's got a high percentage of butter in it. What's going to happen is, as I roll it, and get it out of the fridge is going to be hard. If I roll it in a ball, it's going to be really tough to try and flatten that out like this. Already half my work is done, it's already flat, and I can use it while it's nice and cold. I don't really need to bring it out of the fridge for too long to soften up, and if you roll it in a ball, it will tend to crack, whereas this, you've got a little bit more control. So I always find it's best to roll it out flat, or manipulate it flat in the cling film like that, and then place in the fridge, and that should be ready within half an hour.